Okay, let's do this. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWT in Sports and Gaming. If you haven't smashed the subscribe button, please do smash the subscribe button. If you haven't already, hit the share button. Do share these videos. And if you haven't joined us already, do join us and become a member. Yes, we have returned from being underwater. Apologies for that. Back at home. Back able to do these videos for you. Okay, so we're going to get into this one. Alexander Usyk, friend of the show, and Derek Delboy Chisora. Both fighters we know pretty well. Good save for Alexander Usyk. We know him very well. Obviously, he was trained by our guest later on, Uncle James Elibashir, doing his weekly show. He'll be back tonight. So he was training Alexander Usyk as a pro. Usyk went to Bashir to train him and went on to become cruiserweight champion of the world. And then after that, Bashir departing, Usyk went on his mission to become undisputed cruiserweight champion of the world. His final fight at cruiserweight was against Tony Bellew, and well, it wasn't as impressive. The knockout was impressive, and I did tell people that that Usyk would knock Bellew out. Thing is, Usyk wasn't as impressive as many people would have expected. And if you look at that fight, Bellew was winning the fight. He was winning the fight. He was doing a good job with Usyk, but ran out of steam. Cutting weight from heavyweight back down to cruiserweight isn't easy, and a difficult night anyway. And Usyk is one of those guys who just keep coming and coming and coming and coming. He's got a fantastic engine, great footwork, balance, puts punches together brilliantly. You can see why he's undisputed cruiserweight champion of the world, and why Uncle Bashir has always said that this guy is going to become heavyweight champion of the world as well. The other corner we have Derek Delboy Chisora, blows hot and cold. Of recent times, Delboy has been putting good wins together. His knockout defeat against Dillian Whyte, as I've mentioned in previous videos, was almost identical to how he got knocked out by David Haye. Getting frustrated, throwing wild punches, punching himself out, and leaving himself open to getting knocked out. So this is an interesting fight. Now, if you remember in the last interview I did with James Elibashir, I asked him the question, who would be a better opponent or would give Usyk more problems? Dillian Whyte or Derek Chisora? And he said that Derek Chisora would give Usyk a better fight and give him more problems. Now, at first I thought that's odd, because I just thought, well, Dillian Whyte's beaten Chisora twice, and or he beat him once and it was a draw. But I thought, maybe Chisora won the first one, but Dillian Whyte definitely won the second one, for sure, conclusively. So I'm here thinking to myself, why did Uncle Bashir say that? And then I thought about it a little bit more. If Dillian Whyte's going to fight Usyk, there's going to be more times where Dillian Whyte's going to try and box Usyk and stand and hold his feet and try and box Usyk. Whereas Chisora is not going to try and box Usyk. He's going to try and put constant pressure on Usyk. So for me, it's the intensity that should cause Usyk problems. Now, Chisora's going to have to come into this fight intense. So for the press conference between Usyk and Chisora, I was very disappointed with Derek Chisora. Very, very disappointed with Derek Chisora. Because he needs every inch of advantage he can get in this fight against Usyk. In my opinion, he needs to be trying to strike the fear of God in Usyk from the moment Usyk touched down. And he needs to also, for me, I felt he also needs to make Usyk know from the start, you ain't coming here to England to do any nonsense, any dancing around the ring. This is a war. Let him know from the minute he touches down, or the minute he comes to that press conference. He was all very nice and very jovial, and not jovial, but you know what I mean. And Chisora's talking about, well, I'm not going to try and box him. He's got lots of skill and lots of talent. He's going to just get himself shape and be fit and just throw as many punches as possible. This fight almost, in terms of the mentality of Chisora, sounds very much. Remember when Nigel Benn was going to be offered that fight against Roy Jones Jr.? He said, "Oh, it'd be my last fight. I tell you, all I'd do and get myself fit for 12 rounds, and I'd have it with him. I'd absolutely have it with him." You know what it means? It basically means this guy can box my head off, and my only chance in this fight is to get close and land my bombs. Well, it's the same situation here with Derek Chisora. The only way for me that Derek Chisora wins this fight is by getting close to Usyk, shutting off path for him to get left to right, so closing the range down, cutting off the ring, shutting him down, working his body, and trapping him on the ropes, and just putting constant pressure on Usyk. If he tries to take Usyk from the center of the ring and tries to box Usyk, that is suicidal. Because Usyk, from what I pick up, if you look at Chaz Witherspoon's fight, he started off the first round, Witherspoon caught him with a nice right hand, and throughout the fight, I don't know if it's me, but Usyk looks vulnerable to the straight right hand or the right hand over the top. He seems vulnerable to that punch because I'm seeing when he throws his left hand. When Usyk throws his left hand and he's committing to throw that left hand, he does leave himself open for the right hand over the top. Chaz Witherspoon was a decent amateur, and he was able to see the Usyk left hand coming and throw a right hand over the top. And that's slow-ass Chaz Witherspoon, okay? He was able to throw that right hand over the top, and Chaz Witherspoon's not known as a puncher as such. And he was able to time Usyk when he's throwing that left hand with the right hand over the top. So it was either a straight right hand or a looping right hand. We know that Chisora has got the looping right hand. We've seen him land it against guys like Kevin Johnson. And of course, famously against Carlos Takam. So we've seen him throw that overhand right. Now that straight right and that overhand right. Okay? And that, to me, will be his honey punch. The right hand over the top or straight. What Chaz Witherspoon wasn't doing when he threw the straight right hand was coming back with left hook over the top. He wasn't throwing the left hook afterwards. He was throwing the straight right hand. I would say he buzzed, but he caught Usyk's attention. And every time Chaz Witherspoon seemed to connect or want to land something, it seemed to me that he seemed to physically move Usyk. I'm not saying it hurt him, but he physically was able to move him. That's Chaz Witherspoon. Chisora's had experience before against a cruiserweight moving up to heavyweight, which is in David Haye. So he's fought one of the best cruiserweights of all time in David Haye. Think what you want about him, but the Haymaker could punch. And again, Haye made him miss, made him pay, and ultimately knocked him out. So it ain't about how big you are. It's about, for Derek Chisora, it's about whether you can frustrate Chisora enough in your fight, your game. Frustrate Chisora enough to make him swing wildly and lose concentration and focus and get frustrated. Then Chisora starts to fall to pieces and they lose themselves open to getting knocked out. That's how he got knocked out by Dillian Whyte. That's how he got knocked out by David Haye. You would have thought after 9 defeats, you would now kind of get what it takes to be a world-class fighter. You would get what it takes to, what the optimum weight is for you. You get at this point now, you think, times to go to bed, wake up, what to eat. So Derek Chisora is, I'm not going to sit down and call him prime Chisora because I'm not. What I am going to say is that he's got so much experience now. He doesn't have to worry about an unbeaten record. He doesn't have to worry about, well, if he loses a fight, he can't come back. He doesn't have to worry about any of those things. So it makes him a dangerous character in that sense because he has really nothing to lose and everything to gain. Usyk's the man here coming to England that's got everything to lose here. A bad performance or a shocker against Chisora with a guy who's got 9 losses is not going to look good on the career of Alexander Usyk. If Usyk struggles and goes to points with Chisora, or he labels and stops Chisora late, it's not really gonna be the sort of thing that that's gonna market him well. All right, he needs to put in a dominant performance against Derek Chisora. Now, if you look at Usyk and the way he boxes, the one thing I would be saying to Derek Chisora is, okay, look, forget the head hunting, forget the trying to win this fight on points. What I want you to do is consistently work the body of Usyk. Chop it, chop the body, chop the body, chop the body. Keep going. Everything you throw, elbows and the body, elbows and the body. That's what you're focusing on. Elbows on the body, elbows on the body. Break him down, slow him down, take his legs away from him. Take Usyk's legs away from him, and then we've really got a fight. Because Usyk then would have to hold his feet and fight with Chisora. And I don't believe that Usyk's a better fighter than Chisora, but I'm darn sure that Usyk's a better boxer than Chisora, right? I don't know if he's a better fighter than Chisora. You see, for me, I think to beat Alexander Usyk, you've got to get him out of his rhythm. When Usyk gets into rhythm, he gets into a space where he's able to box, counter, spin off. It's like a supercomputer. You can't afford Usyk to be keeping at the end of the range of a right jab and throwing left hands in and circling. Now, forget all that. You can't afford him to do that. You've got to be working to break his body down, break his body down, break his body down, work his body. Now if I'm training, I'm talking as a trainer for Chisora, for Usyk. Don't jab the head, put the jab for the body. Because his body's that his head, work the jab the body, put the jab to the body. Put a hard jab into the body and work his ribs. Really work his ribs, because if you look at Usyk, he gives you all his body to hit. And let's remember, as the amateur, he has been dropped by body shots by one Baturbiev, dropped him in the amateurs. Yes, he got up from that, but this is Derek Chisora hitting him at heavyweight. This is not the amateurs. So I would say if there's any area of weakness for Usyk, work the body. Don't allow this guy to set from the minute when the bell goes. I want to see you. They said, oh, you can't bum rush Usyk. Oh, yeah? Well, Derek Chisora's going to have to bum rush Usyk. He's going to have to bum rush him. He's going to have to just get in there. Listen, you've been in there against Klitschko. You've been in there against David Haye. You've been in there with Dillian White. You've been in there with a who's ho of the heavyweight division. Alexander Usyk coming up from heavyweight, who's really his fight against Chaz Witherspoon. Just look at that. And then his fight against Bellew. And think to yourself, okay, the Bellew fight, he looked, the knockout was brilliant, but Bellew was tired. And Chaz Witherspoon, well, what was Chaz Witherspoon doing for God knows how long? Retired? And he came out for a paycheck. He didn't come out to upset the apple cart. So when we look at those things, we think, okay, maybe Del Boy has got a real chance in this. But he cannot, I'll stress again, he cannot stand on the end of the jab and allow Usyk to start popping off with right jabs and then straight left hands to the middle. Forget that. Fight's done. Forget it. Good afternoon, Samuel. How are we doing? Good afternoon, to Danny Brown and Cameron in their house as well. He can't afford to sit back in this fight. So he's got to be absolutely brutal. He's just got to come out and just keep coming at Usyk. Now for Usyk, and the other thing, Chisora wins this fight with Usyk's back to the ropes. He's got to keep Usyk's back to the ropes. Yeah, that back has to touch the ropes. For Usyk, it's simple. Stay the center of the ring and come on from the center ring. Hard right jabs as Chisora's coming in to set himself. And as he goes to set himself, bam, cracking with a right jab and spin out. Or cracking with the left hand and spin out. As Chisora's coming up to throw, cracking and go. Chisora is easy to hit and he can be timed. And if Usyk's able to time Chisora as he's coming up to throw them shots, Chisora's there to be timed. Okay, he is there to be timed. And he can be buzzed. He can be buzzed early in fights. Yo, Prince, how we doing? He can be buzzed early in fights as well. Make no mistake, he can be buzzed in fights as well. Good to see you in the room, Prince, as well. He can be buzzed in fights as well, Chisora. We've seen him buzzed before by guys who are not big punchers. And it's the speed of punch that Chisora's going to have to be careful of. And Chisora has a habit of voluntarily backing up to the ropes. Doesn't want to be doing that. If Chisora's back is against the ropes, against Usyk, then it's a done deal. If you see Derek Chisora backing up against Alexander Usyk, forget it. Start to walk out the arena. Start to walk out the arena. If Derek Chisora's back is touching ropes, start to walk out the arena. Because it's not happening. For me, if it's me managing Chisora and training Chisora, what I'm telling him is this. From the press conference, I'm getting up in Usyk's face. I'm disrespecting Usyk. I'm getting him mad. Chisora's best chance at this fight is for Usyk to hold his feet and trade with him. That's what Chisora needs. Usyk needs to stand and trade with Chisora. Then we have a real fight. Hold your feet. Hold your feet. Get Usyk to hold his feet and fight. There's one of two ways you get Usyk to hold his feet and fight. The one way, as I said, you chop the body, and then you and you make then Usyk has to not voluntary. He has to stop all that damn dancing around the ring, and then he has to fight mano a mano that way. Or the second way is you disrespect Usyk. You understand? You get up in his face. You disrespect him. You do all you have to do to get him mad, get him raging mad. So then he's coming into a fight where he wants to punish you. And then there's where Usyk can get caught. He can get tagged, right? We saw it in the previous fight. We've seen it in fights where where Usyk likes to get involved and likes to hold his feet. This is the key here, I think. That's the only way Chisora wins this fight. Back against the ropes and engaging Usyk in a fight. But if he decides, if Chisora decides to follow Usyk around the ring, he'll walk onto one. He'll walk onto a left hand. It's as simple as that. And don't buy the he's not big enough, and don't buy the stuff that Adam Smith may sell to you. Alexander Usyk, is he really a heavyweight? Don't buy all that crap. Don't buy all that crap. The other thing is inactivity for Usyk. Hasn't fought recently. The Chaz Witherspoon fight, injuries. There were some whispers around in Usyk's camp, and Usyk himself was saying he wasn't happy coming at 215. He felt light. He felt vulnerable against Chaz Witherspoon at 215, saying he had to put more weight on. I can see the towel being thrown with Chisora. Chisora didn't sound to me the same pumped up guy. Maybe he's getting paid well for the fight. He doesn't have to promote the fight. The fight promotes itself. But the table throwing, spitting in the face, slap. You know what Chisora needs to do? He needs to slap Usyk in his face. You don't get it. He needs to slap Usyk in his face. That I would condone Chisora, and I love Usyk now, but I'm just telling you, Chisora needs to slap Usyk in his face. When he's doing that stupid stuff with his eyes and so on, one hard slap. Hold that. We're fighting. It's a fight. Slap him in his face. Violate him. You have to violate a man like Usyk. Because if you don't violate a man like Usyk, when you don't violate a man like Usyk, and you feel like a man like Usyk feels he can just roll up on you and do what he wants to do, he's going to roll up on you and he's going to violate you. Usyk's that kind of man. Usyk is that kind of man. Now, if you decide to slap Usyk in his face, believe Usyk's going to bring it to you. And he's going to want to punish you. Usyk's one of them sadistic guys like Golovkin, who beat you up and send you back to the corner and beat you up and send you back to the corner until you're bloody and you can't see out of both eyes and then knock you out. That's the kind of guy Usyk is. But that's the sort of, you have to slap him in his face. You have to slap Usyk in his face. You have to physically come up in Usyk's face and let him know, you know what? This ain't your time. This ain't your time. I'm not Chaz Witherspoon. Grab him, spit him, grab him, pull him up, haul him up, bite him, do whatever, kiss him, violate this guy. You have to use every element you can. Look, I'm not condoning a man spitting in a man's face or the slapping different. Maybe not spitting a man, but slapping his face, grab him, hold him, kiss him, violate this man. That you have to get inside Usyk's head. So when he's going to really thinking this guy's crazy, this guy's a nutcase. There's Derek Chisora sitting there with the finger on his mouth. Nah, man, he's sitting in there like some. Nah, this is where you need to be a villain. You need to pee a few people off. Do you mean Usyk? I love Usyk, man. I love Usyk. Usyk can fight, you know. He can fight, but that's how Derek has to go about fight. For Usyk, he just rolls up and does what Usyk does. You understand? Yeah, you need vintage Del Boy. I don't even think vintage Del Boy is good. Vintage Del Boy is not enough. Vintage Del Boy doesn't cut off a ring. Vintage Del Boy follows fighters around the ring. Listen, we need the Del Boy that fought Vitaly Klitschko stroke Hellenius. We need that Derek Chisora coupled with this Derek Chisora's experience plus dedicated to body work. Berserko. Yeah, we need Berserko. So we need Chisora off the tranquilizers, the British Boxing Board of Control, the Eternal Eye, and that's what has happened. Yeah, we need, I will physically shoot David Haye. We need that Derek Chisora in the ring. I'll physically shoot David Haye. That's the sort of Derek Chisora that needs to turn up. Anything short of that Derek Chisora, the Derek Chisora that fought Kabayal, or the Derek Chisora that fought Pulev, or the Derek Chisora that fought what's his name? I don't know. What's it? I can't remember the guy. I can't remember the guy. It was a dreadful fight, just an absolute dreadful fight. And the guy was dancing around the ring. I can't remember his name. I think he was wearing green shorts. He was terrible. It was one of those dreadful Derek Chisora. There's a few Derek Chisora fights I've seen, and truth be told, I know a lot of boxing fans are not gonna like this. Derek Chisora, his worst fights. Derek Chisora's worst. No, not Hellenius. He fought a guy, and he's wearing green trunks. He's Eastern European guy. I can't remember the name again, and he was a bit of a dancer. He fancied himself a bit as well. And I remember this guy, Chisora, is following this guy around the ring for the night. Chisora's got to cut the ring off. He really has. That's it. That's the guy. Gashi. That's it. Said Gashi. That's the guy. That's the geezer. Yeah. If he boxes like that against Usyk, then it's going to be a very painful night for Derek Chisora. Derek Chisora's got enough examples of what not to do against Usyk. Don't follow him around the ring without closing the range down. Right? So he needs to, like, what was missing with that fight against Vitaly Klitschko was his body work. He got into positions, but he did nothing about it. I remember talking to Derek. We were at Nando's together. We had a meal together, and it was me and Derek and his missus. This was in Finchley, and we were at Nando's together. And I talked to Derek. I said, Derek, answer me this: do you actually study heavyweight boxing? And he said to me, "Nah, I don't watch other boxers." I would seriously suggest that either you or your team actually study Usyk and his tendencies. Yeah, there you go. Gashi was a lefty as well. You know, but here we go. Here it comes. Wait for it. Wait for it. It's coming. It's coming. Somebody is going to come out of a cave or come off a rock and go, but what about Arthur Spilker? And we're going to get it from the promoter. Went, and there are nights where Derek Chisora looked unbeatable. Yeah, well, if you stick him against Arthur Spilker 10 times out of 10, with that shot Arthur Spilker, Chisora will look unbeatable. He didn't look unbeatable. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. The Hollywood Bowl. That's the one, Kenny. If you put Arthur Spilka 10 times out of 10 with Derek Chisora, that Arthur Spilka he knocked out. 10 times out of 10, he's going to knock out Arthur Spilka. That's like me playing UFC. And this, well, I better not say that because I better not. Let's not go there, the UFC, because for those of you watching me in UFC 3, it all ended a bit. He went a bit Pete Tong. For people who don't know what Pete Tong means, it all went a bit wrong at the end of my career. So, yeah. Takam's not a southpaw though, bro. Bruv, what are you talking about, Takam? Takam, you can't compare Takam's boxability to Usyk. I'm just talking about Usyk and Spilka because they're both southpaws. That's where the comparisons end. That's it. Bro. Spilka was caught cold. No, Spilka wasn't caught cold. Spilka was finished when he fought Wilder. Everyone knew Spilka was shot. Come on, man. Come on, guys, behave yourselves. So, Chisora's record against southpaws isn't the greatest. Don't talk about the Spilka fight, please. Don't. What I mean by this is Chisora doesn't do great against southpaws, and Chisora doesn't do good against movers. Historically, he doesn't, because that requires Chisora to work much harder to close the range down, which means Chisora's got to concentrate that much more, and Chisora's concentration times at times can be wavering. So these are some areas that Chisora and his team are going to have to work with. I was, at the press conference, I was more interested in how David Haye would have done against Alexander Usyk rather than Derek Chisora. I was just there for a second. I was thinking, David Haye in his prime versus Usyk in his prime. So where would Haye be? Where would prime Haye be? Which would prime Haye be? I guess prime Haye would be when he knocked out Enzo Maccarinelli. That would be prime Haye, cruiserweight, and then prime Usyk would be. Yeah, I guess the guy that beat Breedis and the guy that knocked out Bellew. That's prime Usyk cruiserweight. Yeah, prime cruiserweight Usyk versus prime David Haye. So yeah, a lot of people don't expect Derek to win, but you see, the factors are this. If Chisora can catch Usyk on the chin with one of them enormous right hands over the top, and that's not out of the question, because if Chaz Witherspoon can clip Usyk with a right hand, look at the right hand that Usyk gets caught with in the first round and throughout that fight. He had no answer to that right hand, a clipping right hand. Prime Haye, hardest hitting cruiserweight in history. Well, there's a man out there that might just argue that. And a man that people people forget in the UK, called Carl Thompson. The guy that beat David Haye, remember? Don't forget Carl the Cat Thompson. He was a good cruiserweight. A very good cruiserweight. How does Johnny Nelson do against Usyk? The size and different guys, different things, He will come out of the fight well, like Luke Campbell against Lomachenko. Will he? Will he? You think so, Kenny? If he retired in his corner, he won't come out well. Yeah, I think a lot of people are expecting Chisora to lose this fight, but put up a gallant effort. We love it in the UK. He didn't really, he didn't win, but he gave it a good shot. He gave it his best shot. You know what? We got to applaud the geezer for that. We love that in this country. We really do love that. Chisora looked good for the first half of the first round. All downhill from there. Now I think you guys are a bit harsh there. I think that Usyk is going to be wary. You've got to remember, he's going to be wary against Chisora. I don't think he's going to. If you think about the Chaz Witherspoon fight, Usyk will have some doubts in there. He will definitely have some doubts in there. This is the most powerful guy he's fought, arguably, an experienced heavyweight who can punch, who has actually fought a cruiserweight before, and he's now being advised by a former unified cruiserweight champion. And if they're not working on Chisora's bodywork, then I don't know what they're doing. Chisora's bodywork. Chisora says he's going to get himself in shape and then throw punches. Well, good luck with that one. I like to see Chisora bobbing and weaving. And you know what I like to see? Cross-arm defense, bobbing and weaving. Staying low from Usyk and coming up with left hooks. Yeah, his body is breaking down, but you've got to ask yourself the question, his body's breaking down a lot since he's left Bashir. Now, all these injuries that Usyk's been getting has happened since the Bashir. And we've been telling you about these Usyk injuries. The hand injuries. Bashir used to wrap his hands in a certain type of way to prevent Usyk getting injuries. So the hand injuries, the wraps, you know, the training, all them sort of stuff he's doing in his training camp, which are unorthodox. And I've seen, not in Usyk's camp, but I've seen how some of these camps are run and some of the crazy things that are going on in these camps. I'm not surprised that some of these fighters are getting injured the way they're getting injured. And it says that people must be downplaying Chisora to discredit Usyk. Yes, I know. I think Chisora is a credible heavyweight outside top 5. Yeah, I've got to agree with you there, mate. I've got to agree with you. I mean, Derek Chisora is a good heavyweight. Is he a gatekeeper? Well, how do you judge a gatekeeper for the heavyweight? I mean, you know, you beat Derek Chisora, that means you get a... I mean, well, Dillian Whyte's beating Derek Chisora, but he's got no closer to getting a world title shot. Might be added body weight not used to. Yeah, it could be that as well. It was a very fascinating fight. It'll be interesting to see how much Usyk weighs on the night. And the other thing, you're now stepping up in class. Now, any amateur is one thing over 3 rounds. Now you're getting hit for 12 rounds. He's a bum. I'm going to ask myself a question here. I'm sure. Getting hit in arms and... Who's a bum? Chisora's a bum. Oh dear. No. Sorry. Would probably favour Derek. Can somebody let me know? Have we got... I'm sure I've put this on members only, but I could be wrong here. Even it doesn't matter if it is anyway. I want Usyk to get full credit for taking this fight against Chisora. I do. Because there are dangers with this fight. Is Chisora top 15? What ranking do you give him? Well, okay, I'll tell you how we do this. Let's just do this out, because it's a good question you're asking there. Let's go to... I'm just going to do this for argument's sake. Box rec. I'm just going to use box rec. I even hate using the name box rec, but I'm just going to do the box rec heavyweight rankings. All right. Let me ask people this question: do they think that Derek Chisora would beat Daniel Dubois, or do they think Derek Chisora would beat Joe Joyce? Here we go. World rankings. Heavyweight? Really? Oh, 52, 51. No, I don't want 50. I was wondering how that guy was ranked number 1 in the heavyweight division. Okay. Right. Let's look at the top 10 now. Okay. Derek Chisora is 10. Josie Parker's below Derek Chisora. Robert Helenius is below Derek Chisora. Herkovich is below Derek Chisora. Dominic Brazil is below. Oscar Rivas is below Derek Chisora. Joe Joyce is below Derek Chisora. Hughie Fury once said he would fight Derek Chisora. I remember him say that. Okay. Let's ask the question. Does Derek Chisora beat Kubrat Pulev? Well, we know the answer to that. Pulev's ranked 8th. Does Derek Chisora beat Luis Ortiz? I don't think so. Does Derek Chisora beat Dillian White? We got the answer to that one. Does Derek Chisora beat Deontay Wilder? I'd like to see it. Does Derek Chisora beat Andy Ruiz? Don't know. Does Derek Chisora beat Tyson Fury? We've got the answer to that one. Does Derek Chisora beat Anthony Joshua? On the basis of that, Derek Chisora ranked number 10 in the heavyweight division. Well, does he beat Michael Hunter or Joseph Parker? Or even Charles Martin? So does Derek Chisora beat Michael Hunter, Joseph Parker and Charles Martin? Does he beat Helenius again? Does he beat Herkovich? Does he beat Brazil? Does he beat Oscar Rivas or Christian Hammer? These are things. I mean, based on those ratings right there, and you're talking about a gatekeeper, I mean, there are guys below Derek Chisora that I think could beat him. I wouldn't put it past. You know who I'd bring in? You know who I'd bring in for sparring for Derek Chisora? I'd get Charles Martin in to spar for Derek Chisora, just for the southpaw style. I guess I'd bring Spilker in, but I don't know how helpful that would be. Spilker's probably traumatized from that knockout defeat, and he's a cruiserweight now, so I understand. Does Derek Chisora beat Martin Bacoli, who's ranked 35? Does Derek Chisora beat Bryant Jennings? He's ranked 36. Does Derek Chisora beat Ergen Tepper? He's ranked 40. Does Derek Chisora beat Tony Yoka? He's 41. Come on, guys. I mean, Chisora doesn't beat Tony Yoka. I think he'd beat Joyce. Geez, top 10 on BoxRec. I know. What more could we do? Chisora Parker, I want to see it. Me too. Not sure on either of those two, but it's tough. I think Chisora might be style nightmare for Wilder. Not saying he would beat him, but it'll be interesting until Wilder catches him. Herkovich would handle Del Boy. You lose 80% of them. BoxRec ratings are confusing. They're very confusing because, alright, below Derek Chisora, just for a second, let me look at it. You've got here, alright. You've got Yoka, who's ranked 41, Tepper ranked 40, Jennings is ranked 36, Bacoli's ranked 34. Wait, Bacoli's ranked 34? How the hell is Bacoli ranked 34, but Marius Vac is ranked 30, but Bacoli's beaten Marius Vac? Oh my gosh. I don't know. We do know one thing for sure. Derek Chisora has been beaten by the top heavyweights. Tyson Fury, Dillian White, that's two there. He's been beaten by the top heavyweights. So I don't know how you rank Derek Chisora for this, people. But if you're going to call him a gatekeeper, how wide's the gate? And what's the watershed? Because, yeah, he's stock whack as well. Wait, ask the question. Does Derek Chisora beat Martin Bacoli? Does Derek Chisora beat Dave Allen? Does Derek Chisora beat Hughie Fury? There's 3 fights there. Will Chisora ever retire and go away? How old is he? He's 35, 36? Well, no. Remember, the heavyweight division is very different. You know, the heavyweight division, heavyweights can fight 40. He's one of these guys who can stick around and any given night can cause a problem. Yeah, and Chisora's got a style that's not reliant on speed and movement, i.e. Roy Jones, who relied on speed and movement, which was key for him. Speed and reflexes. And these guys, it's hard to rate Chisora because recent opponents not been great. I can't believe Chisora is that age, though he seems to have been around forever. Yeah. Hayden, beats. So he beats Hughie Fury beats Bacole. Do you think he beats Charles Martin? Yeah, he was losing every round in attacking before he landing right hand. You know, it's that sort of performance I'm expecting from Chisora if he beats Usyk, to be getting beaten all around the ring and then landing something. But yeah. Right. For those of you in the room, just to let you know, we've got 2 guests tonight on the show. We've got a newcomer on the show tonight from South Africa. And we're going to be following this heavyweight from the start. And also, we'll be having the James Ali Bashir show back tonight. So we have Bashir. We'll have our new our debutant on the show tonight as well. So you're going to get a bit of boxing. There you go. All right. So if you haven't subscribed already, do smash the subscribe button. If you haven't joined us as a member, do smash the join button as well. So as I said, we'll have Bashir tonight. Uncle Bashir, he'll be talking Usyk and all those good things. He's not beating Martin. There you go. So he doesn't beat Charles. Does he beat Dominic Brazil? Does Derek Chisora beat Dominic Brazil? Great time. What time's Bashir? Bashir will be on straight after our friend from South Africa. And also we're going to try and get to the bottom of this Ruyan Vissa story as well. The heavyweight that's been banned for alleged PEDs. And by the way, would you pay to watch Dave Allen versus Derek Chisora? I understand that Dave Allen, I don't know if it's true or not, it's a rumour, but Allen's coming back in a 4-rounder in April at a cricket ground. I don't know how true that rumour is. So, well, let me get out of here. So we should have Bashir in the next couple of hours. And before that, we'll have our friend from South Africa. He has a 6'7" heavyweight, and he's from the Congo, and they're talking big things of him. And according to Uncle Bashir, this guy looks the business. So we'll wait and see. Thank you all so much for being on BWTM Sports and Gaming. And we'll bring you some gaming tonight as well. I hope you've enjoyed the UFC 3 journey. It's been fun. I just didn't like getting sparked at the end in the last 2 fights. Mind you, I was 53 years old. Right. I shall see you all soon. Don't forget to subscribe as always. You've been watching BWTM Sports and Gaming. Subscribe now.